and the Denver Broncos, taking on Desmond Ridder and the Detroit Lions.
We find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Today, we reach Week 15, and we've got a good matchup in store between the Detroit Lions and the Denver Broncos. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They've been in a great group. Winners of 7 of their last 10 on the year.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
And off we go from Denver. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the man who proclaims to be from a whole pack of Badgers. Came into the league back in 2012, Russell Wilson.
And he's had a great season so far throwing the football. Very likely could go over 4,000 yards with a good performance here. And even in an age of passing first, that is no small accomplishment.
Play action. It's Wilson. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Wilson over the middle, and it's incomplete.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
So 2 incompletions have led them to an early 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And this is Shepard on the catch. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 4, not enough, and it looks like punt time on their opening drive as it's 4th down. Here's Tommy Townsend on to punt. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. A 41-yard punt there with no return, and the Lions will take over. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they will be led out by their second-year quarterback.
It was fun getting ready for this game, wasn't it? Because normally we talk to the coaches and the players. I think you and I asked to talk to the trainer to see how his arm is going to be.
A lot of ice after last week.
After last week's game, boy, what a performance that was. And you know who else is having fun? Receivers, because they get a chance to do what they do best, which is go out and catch the ball.
Yeah, and that last week effort, he threw for well over 400 yards. They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. On the counter, it's Taylor. Simply not much more you can ask out of your running back. Over 100 yards and the 3 touchdowns.
And for an old coot like me, I loved it because he did it on the ground. A running back taking control of the game. That's what I like to see.
Hold on. An old coot?
Coot, C-O-O-T.
All right, I'll look that up later. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Again, it's Taylor. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. 11 yards there and a Lion first down. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say, 200 plus?
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. Up the middle, here's Taylor. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Up the middle they go with McAllister. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Detroit. A great effort there. His first rushing touchdown of the year. And the Lions get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And a pretty good run there in the end to top it off. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. They are back over the 500 mark for the year. A 3-game winning streak really coming at the exact right time, Charles, to get them back into playoff contention.
And it's always a question of when do you want your football team to peak? And everyone always talks about you want to be playing your best ball going into the playoffs. But sometimes you need your best ball before that time. And this team, going into this stretch of games, they are certainly playing their best football of the year.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Man open, he's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. The first carry now. This is Williams. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Now this defense for the Lions, they played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll leave him with 3rd and a full yard to go.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
It's caught on the right side, Williams. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Here's Tommy Townsend now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. It'll be a 39-yard punt, 4 on the return. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. A carry by Taylor to start the drive. And from the 15, they're able to work this up to the 20 for a pickup of a handful. This offense, Charles, we've talked about how well they played all season, sitting now at 13-0 with a finish line for a perfect regular season. That's in sight. Some in the media this week were pointing back to the 07 Patriots. Of course, remember, they finished the regular season unbeaten, but they were tested multiple times in that final month plus.
Yeah, it was something like 4 of their last 6 wins were one-possession games, and they played like a team that was trying to protect something instead of chasing something, and that's what happens when you have an undefeated record. So it behooves you as a team, get a couple blowouts in there so you get a chance to relax and breathe, but that's much easier said than done.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They run once more with Taylor. And this will wind up a Lions first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Back to Taylor on first down. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Running straight ahead, Taylor. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. All runs up. This drive so far, it's 1st and 10. Now a give to Taylor. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. 82 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They'll run up the middle with McAllister. Oh, and fine work there as he gets this thing down to the 11-yard line. 12 more yards there and another first down. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. So obviously they will decline the penalty there, and the result is 6 points. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told.
And it was Jameson Williams wrapping things up with a touchdown. This taken in at the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Now Cortland Sutton and the rest of the offense getting ready for their next drive. You look at the numbers for him, and 1,000 yards obviously well within his sights, barring injury. He will get there. The question, will he get there in this game?
Well, he would love to. Duh, right? Of course he would. But, you know, watching him play this year, we often talk about defenses, you know, allocating extra resources to try and stop a guy of his ilk, right? But you know what else kicks in? His pride to say, okay, I don't care how many you throw in my direction, I'm still going to find a way to get him.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Myles Jack make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Well, you're already up a couple of scores here in the first half defensively, and Charles, they just seem to be playing really free on that side of the football.
I love the observation because with that type of a lead, they feel like they can take a few more chances and be even more aggressive, and it's been paying off for them so far this game.
On third down, Wilson. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively, or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2.
And they will take over first and 10. Here comes Jonathan Taylor and his teammates.
He's in his own second quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's a 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They go to the ground again with Taylor. And he's got room. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line.
104 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
First and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look.
Back to throw. Steps away to his left. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
Certainly not the way they drew it up in the playbook, but that's why they love this guy back there. He sees things breaking down, and he's more than capable of finding an escape route and still getting a decent gain.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 38.
On the handoff, Taylor.
And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. On the handoff, this is Taylor. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
Well, they're currently the best in the NFL in converting on third down, so it was no surprise there that they picked that one up.
And they've done it in many different ways throughout the season, Charles. Picking it up, running it, throwing it, just effective on third downs all year long. 1st and 10, Taylor now. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. On 2nd down, it's Taylor. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Jonathan Taylor taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Lions take a 3-touchdown lead. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the 1st and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
Badgley on for the extra point. And it is now 21-0. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it was capped off by a Jonathan Taylor touchdown. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. Fields it right around the goal line. And takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit, and if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
And a dangerous throw there on the drop-off. Incomplete, nearly intercepted.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
To throw again on 2nd down, Wilson. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 42. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Again, Wilson. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. So the incomplete pass there, but the roughing the passer call bails them out.
Which means you have to stay on the field on defense longer because you've given the offense free snaps, not to mention the free yardage after that mistake.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. He'll get this one to Patrick. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. Looking to throw again on second down. Wilson eluding the pressure right.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. His throw incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
On 2nd and 10, Wilson over the middle, complete. That's Shepard. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. They'll try and run. This is Williams. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. On 2nd and goal, Wilson, and they're going to get to him. A sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line. They need to reverse the trend. The last two plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. Flush to his right. His pass caught at the 4. Touchdown! Greg Dulcich as the first half is winding down. And the Broncos are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. And a lot of football, full half to be played.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. He's airing it out for Williams.
And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete.
A very limited time left to get into field goal range before the half, and they tried to get it all on one throw right there.
2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy.
They'll throw now on the final play. And that is incomplete. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As now we send you...
Well, we're in the latter stages of this season. Everybody's getting antsy, so antsy that we're going to skip the halftime and get ready for the third quarter.
The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway.
And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. And the Lions getting set to go on offense to start the third. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see one or two guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Now a handoff. Taylor with it. Running right through him. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. Man, 188 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. On third down, here's Taylor. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. They turn to Taylor on fourth. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on fourth. The type of game that he's having running the football, there was no doubt who they were giving the ball to.
So why didn't they just go ahead and go after him on defense? Right?
Yeah,
if
key
you
in on it.
Right? You know he's having that type of a game. Who else would you expect to get the football? I would have taken my chances and sold out defensively to stop him. And if anyone else picks it up, I tip my cap to him.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. He'll look to throw. That's into the hands of Pitts, the tight end. So the completion good for just 3. And that'll make it third down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Lions take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Wilson. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Patrick Queen got in there to stick him. He gets the sack. It's 3rd and long now for Wilson and the Broncos after that sack. Looking to throw. Wilson. Finding the open man, and that's Tim Patrick. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow them to convert a 3rd and 18.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
They'll go jet sweep here with Sutton. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
On 2nd down, Williams. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner, because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air. Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
On is the punter, Townsend, as he gets this one away.
And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds.
Detroit's offense ready to take over.
And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses...
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted.
A feather in the cap for the defender, picking up one of the league's better quarterbacks so far this season, and add another feather in the cap for the coaches, too. Excellent game plan, and they had their guys aware of his ability to roll out and how to defend against it.
Well, the football going back over to the Denver Broncos. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Patrick.
Now we're at the 41, 2nd and 9.
Now it's Wilson. He finds his man, complete. It's Patrick. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Wilson to throw.
Finding Sutton on the out route, who makes the catch.
And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds.
Well, part of their struggles in the first half was their inability to convert consistently on 3rd down. But how about this well-designed play? Gave himself plenty of options and able to get the hook up and keep the drive going.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Now Wilson. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after. Catch. They tackle him almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
To throw again on second down. Wilson. That's taken in by Dulcich. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fooled.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Here's Wilson. Outright, this one goes to Patrick. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Now Williams running left. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
They'll go jet sweep here with Sutton. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Williams. Oh, he's going absolutely nowhere as he is hit behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
This likely a must-have, 3rd and goal. Now Wilson. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line.
While you admire anyone trying to pick up an additional couple of yards, they're just not worth it when you take shots like that. Quarterbacks have to stay in the game and stay on the field.
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Tim Patrick, his 1st touchdown on the year. And the Broncos have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Prater for the extra point. And that cuts the lead to 28-14. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. Phillips now from the end zone. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. Well, don't look now, but they've got a little bit of a battle on their hands again. Back to a 2-score game. The interception that led to a touchdown. You'd have to think they're a little more careful here if they do indeed try to throw the football.
Yeah, and I was a little surprised by the last throw. You know, that type of throw with this type of a game, I'm going to be very careful about it. Maybe the only throw you make is maybe a toss to your halfback or something like that. Otherwise, take care of the thing and finish this bad boy off.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. That's going to be caught by Pitts. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. They have the nice cook. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers.
81 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that would look like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
After the costly interception late, good job by him to keep it himself that time. Just tuck it, run it, and scramble for the marker. Don't give the coverage another chance at taking it away from you.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on second and 10. Now back to throw. And oh, it's complete. What a catch at the 7. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is first and goal. They'll look to throw. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Josie Jewell. And the Lions are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. Charles, they're trying to protect this lead late. Those are the types of mistakes they can afford to go without.
About the last thing you want to give them is help in completing a comeback, which is exactly what that penalty does.
And now it's first and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Second and 10 now, Wilson. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And the Lions will take over possession here up at the 44. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. He's airing it out for Williams. And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try to throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
He'll buy some time right. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I know he was trying to get the completion downfield, but the way this game has gone, with a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield. That's the big play that shreds a defense. Instead, he thought to himself, I'm a quarterback, I've got to throw it. He bailed out the defense with that incompletion.
And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a first down. Well, the crowd doesn't like that. Was going to bring up fourth. Now it's first.
They don't like it at all, do they? It brings them back into it, but really not in a positive way. Now they're angry. That can jangle a team a little bit as well. Pass interference ruined that series of downs for them.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Screen play to McAllister. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. So third down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. They'll set up a throw. And this one is incomplete.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Badgley's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big fourth quarter hole.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness.
Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football. And that pretty much has been the storyline, Charles. This defense, they seem to be one step ahead from the start of the game until now.
And you identified it perfectly, and we can see the frustration that's settling in now. And it's probably been there for a long time, but now it's evident because you can see it in their faces, you can see it in their body language, maybe even a little bit in that play call that ended up maybe closing them out.
Being chased out left. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. Up the middle they go. Cottrell, and he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown.
Nathan Cottrell,
a 3-yard touchdown run.
And the Lions add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And the lead is now 24. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
And Denver getting set to take the field.
Well, probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the fourth quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage.
Little out route here, complete to Shepard.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. To throw is Wilson. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time.
Jeremy Chinn picks it off. And the Lions are going to take possession of the football.
Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, Because here we are in
Season of
December.
giving.
Right, it is a season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. That one looks like he'll throw here. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. After the pick six, they go right back to the air. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone.
And it is incomplete. Good positioning there downfield to break that one up.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll drop to throw.
He's got his pass-catching tight end. That's Pitts.
And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
Well, this has been another impressive display by this undefeated team, Charles, and it looks like they're going to stay that way after this one.
Yeah, one of the league's best offenses. They've stayed on brand in this contest because they continue to look good at what they do. Just added a late touchdown. Now they're really hammering home just how good they've been all year long, letting the rest of the league take notice.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, everyone, as we say so long from Denver.